Are we good? Good evening. This is the Mayor's Agenda, City of Hannibal Official Council Agenda, Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. We're in the council chambers at 7 p.m. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilman McCoy. Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Here.
Councilmember Franke.
Present.
Councilmember Phillips.
Here.
Councilmember Welch.
Here.
And Councilmember Beach.
Here.
Okay, there being a quorum present, I call the meeting to order. Stand, I'll give the invocation. God of wisdom, we seek your help today. Come and let your wisdom fall upon us, O Lord, as we gather for this meeting. Give us clarity so that we can effectively tackle each part of today's agenda. Reveal problem areas and show us the best solutions that will apply. Point our eyes toward every positive outcome since our last meeting, and let these favorable results and developments encourage every heart in this room. Dear God, help us apply your wisdom as we decide on certain matters and make plans. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Chief Naki, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the list is approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, hold up. Don't we need to oh, no, it's been amended. My bad. Second.
Any discussion on the agenda? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. I'm going to go off the script for just a little bit. This weekend, I'm sure everybody knows that the LST 325 was here, and a lot of people went to a lot of work. Trevor, Megan, and streets department, police department, ambulance, EMS, on down, Andy. Just want to say that I had the honor to present the LST captain and the crew proclamation and a key to the city, and in return, they had presented us LST 325 Baldor key, presented by captain and crew in appreciation of your hospitality and support. So the award's there. And I want to say also, maybe I'm stealing thunder from Megan, but there was 12,317 people that toured the LST, and it was their biggest, Saturday was their biggest day on the Mississippi River. So it's an honor to go down and do something like that, but it's also an honor to be able to do it at a place that is recognized by visitors and locals alike, that the efforts that have been put forth by this council and former councils on the riverfront itself, and by our parks and recreation that keep it looking good. I've been down there before with different riverboats and talked to the crew and their passengers alike, and they comment that how good that this riverfront looks versus some of the other stops. Some of the other stops are just gravel parking lots. So when they come to a place like this, they really appreciate that. And I hope the people of the community appreciate it. And, being a representative of the city, I'm proud of that. And I hope the council is as well. So thank you for allowing me that time.
That was well said, and thanks for showing us the award there.
I would entertain a motion to excuse Councilman McCoy from the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Next on the agenda is approval of minutes for the closed session of July 5th, 2023, the closed session meeting of July 18th, 2023, closed session of August 1st, 2023, closed session for August 15th, 2023, and the closed session meeting for September 5th of 2023. I need a motion to approve all those.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Now have approval of payrolls and claims for the first half of September 2023. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on payrolls and claims? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Angela Lane, 1317 Owens Avenue, ordinance to drive golf carts on city streets. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'd like to put forth to have the golf carts be made legal on city streets. I'm disabled and we've got a car, but we've got a truck too. The car I can get around in fine, the truck I can't get up in. Having a golf cart would make it easier for me to get around to visit friends and family. They have the turn signals, they've got brake lights, brakes, all the whistles and gadgets that a car does. And I'd just like to make it legal for us to ride those as well as the UTVs and different things.
Questions from the council? Comments?
Yeah, I do. What's the average speed of those?
25 miles an hour.
And I was wondering if that's a current models, older models, or overall?
It's a brand new model.
Okay. And I was wondering if we could hear from Chief Naki what the minimum speed limit is for vehicles on our surface streets.
As far as the minimum, I'm not exactly sure that would be out on City Street. There's a stop post at 25 and something on City Street. As far as anything else goes, I'm not really sure. I have to look over the Missouri statute a little more. I know it gives permission for UTV if the city allows it. I'm not sure.
And my question would be about insurability also, to the state minimums. You know, if it could even be insured as a motor vehicle.
I'm not sure.
I would also be concerned that we have state highways here that used to, in some parts of it, still double as surface streets, for example, 79. I'd be concerned that those golf carts would feel compelled to drive on a state highway mistakenly for a surface street. So I do have reservations on golf carts.
Counselor?
Before the council went a long way on this, Jennifer Grody did a lot of research regarding safety issues on the UTV issue, and I would suggest that perhaps we see if Chief Naki could prevail upon her to provide us with that information, because I think we looked at golf carts also, but it's been long enough that now I don't remember exactly what we looked at. And there were a lot of safety things that we included in the UTVs that aren't necessarily required, but things because of research that she had done, we did. So if you were going to go that route, I'd really like us to take a look at the safety issues if we're going to put that into effect.
Does your golf cart have seat belts?
No.
You got to beep one of them.
That was one of the issues. That there, seat belts, the lighting, the turn signals. Again, I am not an expert. That HPD did an excellent job doing research on safety issues and on what other municipalities were doing. And I would suggest maybe we ask them to take another look at it, and we could come back and look at it, say in 30 days, something like that.
I know there's communities down south that do them, but within subdivisions themselves.
There are absolutely places that allow golf carts, but I don't know specifics because, like I say, when we looked at this similar issue before, I think the only request that we had, I think, was in regards to the ATVs and the UTVs. I think maybe HPD did some looking at some other issues, but I don't want to rush them, and that's why I say maybe we visit in 30 days after they'd had a chance to look at the safety issues, as to what their recommendations would be. Because if the council will recall, they gave a list of recommendations. I provided that to the council. Then I came up with some proposed ordinances. We looked at it several times before we finally put it into effect.
I can say that we will have the police department check into it, and if you'll leave somebody your name and phone number, or you've probably already got it, don't you?
Yes, I have it on her.
Okay,
her sign
and
sheet.
we'll get back with you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
April Azate, questions for council?
One of the main things that I wanted to talk about tonight, I'm going to hold off till next meeting, till hopefully I can get some more business owners in here in regards to the last festival. But I just wanted to kind of put a bug in your guys' ear that I'm sure many of you have heard about a lot of things that happened and how unhappy the business owners were with several different things. But something to consider would be to utilize the riverfront that we went over a significant amount of money on, as well as the side streets, so that we're not blocking Main Street, especially if it's events or festivals that are for profits. The businesses aren't getting any kickbacks other than people coming in, and when you're blocking Main Street and essentially putting our competition on it, it kind of hinders our sales. And I know blocking the streets early was a huge issue. But again, I just want to put a bug in your guys' ear till I get in touch with other business owners. The last council meeting, there was something I was kind of confused about that, Lisa, I wanted to ask you about, because you were the one speaking on your manager's report. But under below our grants obtained under my tenure, how many of those did you personally? If I went down the list that you had on your report, the MO, North Street, is that one that you specifically got? Or worked on?
Worked on? Yeah, definitely worked on. And there's a lot of things that go into the grants. I'm not sure that I can cover all of that with you in the 5 minutes. But I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you or anyone else who's interested.
So all of these grants were ones that you specifically worked on? It just kind of threw me for a loop because it says obtained under my tenure, and I was under the impression certain other people worked on them, or through the HREDC, or they were going to be given to the city nonetheless. So but then at the very end it says, we will be continuing to actively seek out potentially available funding to offset the cost of.
Correct. We will be continuing to seek out the funding.
Okay, so again, you worked on each of these grants?
I worked on or identified the majority of the grants. But like I said, there's a lot to it, and in the 5 minutes that we have during the business meeting of the city, I can't possibly cover it all, but I'm happy to talk to you.
Well, since I have a little over 2 minutes left, the MODNR North Street, you worked on that?
I worked with the engineer who
American Rescue Plan Act, that was you specifically?
So the American Rescue Act is money that the city received in researching how to do the reporting. That's where my impact comes into play. Now, like I said, this is not something that I can in 2.5 minutes.
Okay, no worries. I'm just going to keep going down the list. Governor's Cost Share Grant, Lakeside Drive, you specifically worked on that?
I absolutely did.
Okay. CBD or CDBG grant?
The emergency CDBG grant for Union Street, yes.
Mo State Block Grant, Airport Runway Lights?
I did not work on the runway lights, no.
Marion County Cares?
I personally went to Marion County Commissioners meetings and requested the money.
MOSWIN radios?
The Mosman radios, the former police chief identified some of the funding for that. And
since I only have a little over 50 seconds left, if I can just go down these and you can just say yes or no if you specifically worked on them.
Really a yes or no answer.
Well, you implied that you were the reason why we got these grants, and I'm under the impression that you did not work on each grant and that other people.
Other people certainly worked on it. Under my tenure means since I've been here, the difference between...
I'm all aware of what it means, but when you're implying that you were the reason that we got these grants.
Did you not read a sentence also that says we will continue to...
No, I didn't read that, which was what I just read to you just a couple minutes ago. Yeah, I read it.
Yeah. So,
that's why I was specifically wanting to ask which ones you worked on, because a lot of people in the community from watching the last meeting, including myself, were under the impression that you implied that you are the reason why the city got all of this grant money.
So the difference in the grant money received since I've been here and the grant money received before I got here kind of speaks for itself. And
not if other people are the reason behind it, or if the city was going to get it nonetheless.
April, do you want another 5?
Sure, I have a couple more that I would like to ask her about.
Make a motion to give April 5 more minutes.
Second.
I don't think I'm going to need 5
All those in
minutes,
favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
No.
Councilmember Franke?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
No.
Councilmember Veach?
No.
Motion fails.
Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Under my name, appointment of approval for a second reading to the Hannibal Visitors and Convention Bureau, Katie Ayers Welch, for an appointment for a term to expire September 2027. Need a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. For the Airport Commission, for a second reading, Maria Coons for an appointment for a term to expire September of 2025, and Andy Fishback for an appointment to expire September of 2026. That's the second reading, so I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the Airport Commission? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Recommendation of a reappointment for the Hannibal Tree Board, Paul Miller, for a term to expire September of 2026. It's the first reading, so no roll call on that. Andy Dorian, Director of Central Services, approval of a truck purchase, state bid from Joe Mockins Ford for $52,080.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Council. As I've kind of talked in the past, and I think some of the other departments, it's kind of the wild, wild west right now. And trying to purchase vehicles, no longer are the days where you can put bid specs out and wait. It's as soon as they come available, you need to jump on it immediately. And even then, sometimes they get taken out from underneath you. So the Parks Department was looking for 2 new trucks. One for the Recreation Department and one for the Park Street maintenance worker who does all our cleanings, our bathrooms, all our facilities. So Joe Mockins Ford, who has state bid, had Ford Mavericks come available. The price for one is $26,040. So the total price for 2 is $52,080 for 2 Ford Mavericks. We don't know when we'll get them, but we needed to get in on the lottery, so we went ahead.
See, or it sounds really reasonable in today's market.
Yeah, very reasonable. And they'll be 20-year trucks for our park system. So
those 2-wheel drive?
They are 4-wheel drive.
They're 4-wheel drive?
Mm-hmm.
That's even more impressive on the price.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That's why we jumped on them.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we have that, and then in a corresponding move, we will surplus and sell a 2008 Dodge Durango. We actually bought this used from tourism, who from way back in the day, and 2000 Ford F-250. That is, it's had a lot of problems. So it's time to
Let's split these up. And first of all, the purchase of the new vehicles. I need a motion to approve.
Really quick question first. Andy, it's not really a question, it's just a statement. These Mavericks, are those going to replace the end loaders rolling down Main, collecting?
No, these are just small. These are small little like a Chevy Colorado.
I thought they were. I thought it was a little different. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar
they're
with
just
the Maverick.
small recreational trucks. So it'll be one will be for the recreation department. Right now we only have one vehicle for 3 people, and the other one will be used by our maintenance person who cleans all the bathrooms facilities. So.
All right.
Okay, so looking for a motion to approve?
So I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, now discussion? Did you have a question?
No.
No? Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Now for the surplus of the 2 vehicles, need a motion to approve there.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Megan Rapp, the Sales and Marketing Director, or former Sales and Marketing?
No.
However, the former Director. Anyway, the approval of bids for the 2024 Hannibal Visitors Guide Design and Layout.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I bring before you tonight the request for proposal for the Visitor's Guide Design and Layout for 2024. Very briefly, we do the Visitor's Guide ad sales in-house to keep the price accessible to our tourism partners, because outsourcing a guide to a larger company would mean that many of the locally owned businesses are not able to afford the ads, so it's very hands-on in the office. We opened the bids on September 11th. We got 2 bids, one by Phillips Media Group, $4,800, one by McDonald Video and Photography in the amount of $6,150. Because of the recent last 7 months turnover at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, both full-time staff has changed. One full-time staff position is not yet filled. It leaves nobody on the staff to go through that has gone through the very involved process of putting together the visitor's guide. So selling the ads, proofing the editorial, working with the design company. So due to the extenuating circumstances, I'm asking that the design bid go to McDonald Video and Photography in the amount of $6,150, because they have actually worked with the CVB for the last 3 years. So they are very familiar with the process. They're actually more familiar with the process currently than anyone on staff. So continuation of something going seamlessly would be in the best interest of the CVB and the visitor's guide.
Questions?
A comment and one question. So even though you're part-time now, you still made the effort to call today and explain it to us and give us a chance to answer some questions. That's deeply appreciated. Thank you. And the dollar figures we're dealing with here are relatively low. So I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Not going with the low bid is not going to break the budget, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's also not taxpayer money. It is bed lodging tax money. So unless you spend the night at one of our hotels, the citizens of Hannibal aren't paying for this.
Cool. Thank you. So I need a motion to approve.
I move.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Megan, thank you for your time at Visitors Bureau.
Megan.
You've actually
Thank
done a lot.
you.
We're just trying to keep you up here, Megan.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Moving on to, wow, seems short. Moving on to closed session in accordance with RSMO 610.021 subsections 1 and 2. Need a motion to go into close.
So move.
1, 2, and 3. Admitting myself, council, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, Jacob Naki, Andy Dorian. Need a
Motion.
second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson,
Yes.
Councilmember Franke,
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips,
Yes.
Councilmember Welch,
Yes.
and Councilmember Beach.
Yes.
Okay, we're in closed session.